Hello and welcome to another episode of Worst Collection Ever. This is the show where we tell you about the worst comic book collection in existence, and it just happens to belong to us. I'm Jen.
I'm Sean.
I'm tripping over my words already.
Botchamania.
Botchamania.
Almost a Botchamania episode today.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Send for the man. I'm corpsing.
I love Botchamania.
I do
much.
too. It's a good time.
And it's been, I think it's like 400.
Oh, yeah. He's like 400 something at this point.
I remember actually watching Botchamania from like Botchamania 1.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. It was just been that long. Because it was like YouTube, like 2008. So like there's like nothing on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, there's like 3 dudes. And, you know, and Botchamania was on there too. And they were, you know, it was kind of like, hey, look what you could do. Find clips of wrestling and put it online and put some fucking video game music underneath it. You know, it was a good time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anyways, hello and welcome. I hope you had a good holiday.
Mm-hmm.
We had a holiday as well.
Yes, we also had a holiday.
I was say it was fine. I was going to
fine.
say it was like, you know, we didn't do anything. Actually, this past weekend was the Denver Comic-Con or the Pop Culture Con.
Yeah, we didn't go to that.
No, we haven't been in a few years because, at least for me, I feel like it's a lot of money to go.
It's a lot of money to go, and we have also been sort of doing a shit ton of yard work.
Well, that too.
Which kind of makes things a little bit difficult.
Yeah, no, that's
for us to actually want to haul our asses anywhere that isn't like in the immediate vicinity.
Well, here's the thing though, like you do a day of yard work and then like the next day you're going to haul your ass down to the convention center and spend a day in like, you know, just wandering around this giant convention center with all this bullshit happening.
I know.
You know, and it's not really like these cons aren't like they used to be. You know, I guess it's the way to put it.
Well, I think they're just more crowded now.
Well, they're more crowded, but they're more about like pop culture. Like, hey, you know, you can meet these people and you could, you know, it's not as much about purchasing like the comics, you know, or anything. But
well, especially if this one's called like a pop culture con.
Yeah, that's why they probably were changing it. You know,
yeah.
It kind of reminds me of like the whole reasoning behind the San Diego Comic Fest, you know, versus the San Diego Comic Con.
Right.
You know, where they're like, I remember like the first year they had it, and I remember because Chris Gore went, and Chris went there, and it was like he was saying it's like, yeah, you go there, and it's just like a bunch of people. They're just like, we're fucking old, you know, because that's what it is, just a bunch of old crusty dudes in California selling comics.
Nice,
you know, out of like a fucking Ramada. You know?
I mean, that's kind of like the one we went down to in Colorado Springs, where it's just some guy who was like, these were in my closet.
Yeah, well, that was just like a high school thing. They do ones like in parks and stuff. That's actually the kind of thing I feel like more out here, at least in the like I watched those video game guys, like John Hancock or John Riggs, and they go to like stuff and like, you know, these different, you know, these smaller locations, or they go to like in parks. You know, because like out here, like I'll go to like video game convention, you know, like not conventions, but they're just swap meets.
Yeah, they're outside.
And honestly, it's just as good because you're there to buy games, you know, like that's the kind of thing. You're there to buy stuff and make some transactions. And, you know, that's basically, you know, what I look to do. You know, I'm not as much about like spending money to meet people or get things signed. Like I don't really care that much. You know, I've never cared about autographs. You know, like I think the most important autograph I have was when Aaron Lewis from Stain signed my draft card. Oh, man. Do you still have it? I might. I think I do. Yeah. I think that was that. I'm trying to think if I have any other big autograph, like actual autographs, like not something that like I bought from, you know, like that Joe Quesada Deadpool comic my dad bought off of QVC or something. I have Peter Steele's autograph. Yeah. See, because you physically were like, here. And yes, like, I brought both the booklet for Bloody Kisses and the booklet for October Rust, and he signed both. Yeah. I'm trying to think if I have any other actual. I think I had Switchblade Symphony's autograph. Yeah. I had that. That might be the only other one I had. Yeah, I can't remember. That's how like little I care about autographs. Yeah, I don't typically care about them either, but it was just like I had to take the opportunity to like see
typo negative in a tiny ass record store in some strip mall in Broomfield or wherever the hell it was.
Is that where that was?
Yeah, and it was before the show, so it was like Lakewood or Broomfield. It was up that way, and it was a tiny ass little record store in some strip mall. You walk in, and there's like a table, and they sign, and then we had to drive and go park so we could get to get a good spot for the show.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah. That's a thing. Like I've never been compelled. All the people that I've met, just random folks. Like I've never, aside from like what Sideshow, we would get people's autographs on like the Polaroids we would take.
Yeah.
But that's because it was for display for people to come in and look at that and be like, oh, hey, look, so and so was here.
Yeah.
But I don't. Those don't really count for autographs.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't really care. I don't need to meet anybody. I try to think if there's anybody I would like to meet. Like, I don't know if anybody I want to meet anybody.
Yeah, and there's probably nobody I want to meet because I remember we went to was it WonderCon? Yes. It was WonderCon and Kevin Conroy was there.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, should I didn't have anything for him to sign though.
You could have bought something there and been like.
But then I was like, what am I going to say?
That's the thing,
you know
man.
What I mean? Like, I'm going to go up there and be like, oh my God, you're the best Batman. He knows. He knew.
He knows. He knew. Yeah.
He knew he was the best Batman. I didn't have to tell him.
Yeah.
Everybody else told him.
I'm trying to think if there's like any horror people that I would really
like actors or like writers or filmmakers.
What's the thing is like I'd be like, hey, I meet Dario Argento, but like he doesn't speak English. As he's not a real native English guy. He can't be like, hey man, he'd be like, yeah, I don't know him, whatever.
Yeah. Isn't his daughter his translator?
No, he's just got some woman. His daughter, well, I don't know if it's his other daughter. I mean, wait, Asia Argento?
I don't know.
There's just some woman with him.
Okay, I didn't know if that was his daughter or if it was just like a random translator.
No, I think it's just some lady that was like, had to translate that nerd's question. We probably told this story before.
I'm sure we have, but man, that was such a good moment.
Hey, do you know Brian De Palma? I don't know him.
I don't know him. You and Brian De Palma have been having a conversation throughout your work.
Sit down, you fucking nerd.
Yup. Everybody laughed at him. Anyway.
As they should have. But yeah, try to think. That's a good question. Cause like, I don't know. I'd have to really sit down and think about like who I'd want to meet. Cause I'd actually would want to like have a conversation or just ask them something.
Sure.
Be like, wow, I really enjoyed this. What about this? Like, I mean, cause I feel like I feel like I've been ruined by information on the internet.
Well, there's that.
Watching like, shitty YouTube things and finding all and just because I feel like I know everything. So it's like, well, I don't really need to ask. Like, I already know what you're talking about. I don't need to ask you.
Yep. Right.
Even though you were there.
Yeah.
It's like, for instance, like, Tom Atkins from Halloween 3, and Night of the Creeps, fantastic actor,
Oh, yeah.
But it's like, we're going to be like, can you go stop it into my phone for like, Could you I think of it, you screaming, stop it at the top of your lungs?
And he's like, I don't do that anymore.
He's like, I'm 75 years old. I'm so old.
If I did that for everybody who asked me, I would not have a voice.
No, he would probably be dead because he'd be just an older man screaming. He'd just fucking keel over.
Right?
It would be like on some like.
We don't want to kill Tom Atkins.
Yeah, I don't want to kill anybody. I don't want to kill those guys.
No.
I don't want to be like on a thing where it's like, on some YouTube video, it's like, it's like, oh,
this man killed Tom Atkins.
He had a great career until,
until this fucking moron came over and made him yell.
He worked up to the day of his death, and then he
was at a con,
and he was yelling. Some asshole convinced him to scream, "Stop it!" really loud. And
he had an aneurysm,
and his fucking neck exploded. And
oh no, the president's neck is missing.
his neck went missing.
Oh no!
I mean, I'm trying to think like comic book artists. I'm trying to think like if there's anybody like that.
I don't know. Would there be like? Is there a wrestler you'd want to meet?
I don't know. That's a thing. Like I've met.
I know
some of the most important wrestlers.
I know you have.
It's like,
I am well aware.
Like I worked with Steve Austin. He's like the most important wrestler of
I know
all times.
I would want to meet Steve Austin's cats.
I would like to be his cats now. Actually, more important, I would like to.
That's much more important than meeting Steve Austin.
Yeah, okay. Let's go see the cats.
Yeah. I just want to see Poncho.
See Poncho and Macho.
Poncho and Macho. They're so cute.
It's a good question. Like wrestlers, like, I don't know. Like, I probably would say like Raven, but like I've actually like hung out with Raven.
Yeah, I was gonna say you've already met him.
Like, and also like to actually have like a meaningful or just something where it's like, wow, that was worth it. Like because you could talk to like some, like for instance, like one of my favorite wrestlers was Perry Saturn, and he's still with us, thankfully.
That's good.
But he's had a very, very rough go, and he's at the point in his life where he's suffering from like really bad CTE.
Oh yeah.
As it's going on, and you don't really see him or hear about him that much because he just lives like his own life, whatever.
Right.
You don't, but he's not, people aren't trotting him out, not trotting him out for like wrestling stuff, even though he is for a lot of people from my, that are my age, whatever, loves watching him in ECW and WWE and WCW. Like he's awesome, and he was so fucking talented.
How old is he?
I mean, he's probably in his 50s at this point, like mid to late 50s.
Okay.
So
it's still pretty young.
Yeah, I mean, he's still pretty young, but I mean, he's a guy that like he did lots of, he did a lot of drugs, and then like at one point I heard he got shot in the neck.
Jesus.
Yeah, and he's still around, and then there was a thing where people thought he was missing, and then and they found him because a lot of wrestlers, like, this is the thing, like a lot of wrestlers that like Dean Malenko and like Chris Jericho, like people that are actually like friends of his, even Raven to a point, like they don't hear from him,
right?
And so it's like probably at a point where I think he's been so banged up and he's suffering from that.
Yeah,
because that guy went hard.
Sure,
he went hard in the ring, outside of the ring, and we're obviously very grateful, but for him you saying one of my favorite wrestlers, just one of my favorite guys to play as in video games. But he doesn't get his due,
sure.
I think, for a lot of folks, and it just, which sucks, and I mean, I wish WWE would just be like, here's a shit ton of money, let's make some action figures of you, and I'd be like, great.
Yeah, you'd be like, finally.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's got like 2 action figures. I have both of them. And he was a guy that was around for a long enough time where you could have had multiple action figures, and he did not. So, yeah, but no, Perry Saturn's awesome. But yeah, he's the kind of guy where it's like, if I met him, it's like, but what if it wasn't, like he might be out of it, or it might not be a thing. Where like, hey man, you remember this? And he, it's just,
and he'd be like, no.
I'm feeling bad saying that about Perry Saturn because he's saying like, it's like, yeah, I would, okay, I would love to meet him, but I wouldn't want to. I feel like I would be imposing on him just by being like, hey man, I'm a fan. I don't know, like because he seems like he's got his own life, he's dealing with his own stuff. Actually, the one that I wanted to meet, and he's dead now.
Oh,
but this was like years ago. We were in LA, and that was the thing where we went to. You saw the ICP without their
yes,
face paint.
I sure did.
And they were, it was like a Ring of Honor show or whatever.
Yes.
And it was like
in some hotel. It was like a hotel by LAX, and it was like a wrestling convention.
It was a convention, which for some reason I think I just was like, we just didn't want to pay. I just didn't want to pay the money to go to this convention.
No, but we went to that match.
But superstar Billy Graham was a part of this convention. And this was around the period where superstar Billy Graham, who has had a litany of health problems, up until the very point of his death, which was only like 2 years ago, maybe at this point, but this was like one of the last times he was like, this is one of the last times I'm going to be around.
Yeah.
And I think we were Joe. I think Joe was there. Our friend Joe Pataro, obviously.
I think Joe was with us. Yes.
Joe was with us because I was like, man, superstar Billy Graham, I would love to meet him. He's like, we sit at the bar right there. You can go meet him there. And I'm like, I don't want to.
Right.
Because I'm like, what am I going to do? Because you also think too is like, I am very interested in superstar Billy Graham for a lot of things, primarily the stuff that he did in Florida when he was probably at the lowest point in his life.
He might not want to talk to you.
Billy Graham.
He's probably like, I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, he doesn't want to talk. I don't think he really wants. I don't think if I was like, hey man, I really liked when you had a mustache. You'd walked around with a snake and you knew karate, but you really didn't because you don't know karate. And you'd be like,
he's like, please don't talk about that.
It was like, you know what? Can you just talk about me beating Bruno? Something like
anything.
That. You literally talk about anything else except for the point in my life that I was the saddest. Again, I would have like a limited amount of interesting things to like, very limited amount of things I would want to say.
Yes.
Before I felt like I was being imposing.
Yes.
And overstaying my welcome.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm like, I worked with Gilbert.
Oh yeah.
But I remember it was like, oh my God, Gilbert, you stay up all night. Oh my God, tell me all about it. He'd be like, oh, okay. I would go into the studio and I would do bits and I would whatever, it was fine.
Yeah.
And that's it. But that's it. Like
that's my assumption of pretty much all anybody would remember. Cause you want to be like, oh my God, what happened on this day when this cool thing happened? And literally it's just like a regular day.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Not every.
Like it literally just like, do you remember everything that happened to you at work? No.
Not everybody has the memories of the kid, of the people they talk to in Serial when they're like, hey, what happened on this day in 1998? It's like, man, I remember this and, fucking Ahmed, or was it Ahmed? Or what's that guy's name? Or whatever
Adnan.
He was like, Adnan had this problem with whatever that girl's name was. And he's like, oh, yeah, they were having an issue. And I remember we were sitting at my house like, bullshit.
Hey, son? Was that her name?
Oh, I forgot. Yeah.
I think it's something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they would talk to people like, yeah, I remember what happened on June 9th, 1998 or whatever the fuck. Bullshit.
No, that's the thing. If
and there was this Best Buy and I was by that Best Buy.
That Best Buy had a phone outside of it. Like, did it?
Did it? I don't remember where any phone is ever.
That's the thing, man. I don't understand because these people will be like, oh, yes, I remember exactly what happened. And it was this day. And I went to class just like always. My teacher taught us this. And I'd be like, it's like 9 years later. How do you remember any of that?
You're right. You could ask me a year later from that point. I wouldn't remember.
No, God, no, absolutely not. I don't know. I'm just like, okay, I guess.
WhenItWasCool.com is your source for the best in retro pop culture. When It Was Cool features articles and podcasts on retro TV and movies, toys, action figures, pro wrestling, food, video games, and more. Hit the Patreon button to support us and get instant access to hundreds of premium podcasts and features. Family friendly and fun. WhenItWasCool.com.
So what are we reading this week?
So this week we are reading another issue of our Daredevil trade. We got 2 more of these. No, this one and one more after this.
Okay.
So we're reading Daredevil number 163 from March 1980.
Man.
So even though it came out in December, but I'm just going. I go by the cover. I don't
understand.
Whatever.
You know what? I don't understand how any of that works.
And you know what? I probably have asked to be had that explained to me, and I don't want anybody to explain it to me because I'll never understand it.
Well, that's the thing. I think somebody has tried to explain it to me, and I still don't get it. So I'm just like, you know what? This is just one of those mysteries that I'm never going to be able to understand.
Yeah. There's a lot of that.
That's fine.
There's a lot of that stuff, and this is one of them.
That's totally fine. Some things in this life are unknowable.
They's unknown. Yeah, but it's Daredevil number 163, and we are continuing on because of with this ongoing mark for death to do whatever. It's really actually more about, I've noticed after reading this, it's more about Ben Urich and his quest in figuring out Daredevil, because that's like the most like common through line, because whatever's happening in this book has nothing to do with what we read last week. Yeah, whatever happened with Bullseye, like that was it for now.
Yep.
So we're just kind of like,
it's like, here's another story that's kind of connected.
It's connected because the Matt Murdock, the Ben Urich stuff continues.
Yes.
And it continues into the next issue after this. But for whatever reason, everything else about the him being marked for death. I mean, he's really just marked for exposure, marked for notoriety.
Yeah.
He's not really the death stuff's already done.
Yes.
So.
And he's alive.
Yeah. He's living.
All right. Good for him.
The man without fear continues to live in New York City unabated.
Yeah.
You might notice that last episode's issue was number 161.
Yes.
And this is 163.
Oh, so there's something else.
Well, what happened was, and this is another thing I don't understand, because I've read this in the Marvel Wiki, that number 162 is just a random one-off story that has nothing to do with anything that's ongoing. And it's like,
so maybe it was like deadlines not being completed when they were supposed to be or whatever. So they just kind of were like, throw it on there.
Because they promised the Hulk issue
Mm-hmm.
in the previous book.
Yes, it did.
But it wasn't the Hulk issue. It was something about Steve Ditko drew something or whatever. He did a story, and it's about like Daredevil having amnesia, and some guy convinces him to become like a boxer like his dad was. But then at the end, Daredevil fights a leopard. Like,
sure.
Yeah. And that's it. It has nothing to do with this.
Man, these comic book guys are fighting animals left and right. Batman's punching sharks. Daredevil's fighting leopards.
You can't help it. You can't help themselves.
I know.
You send them to the zoo, man.
They're just like,
up.
I have powers, therefore I fight shark.
Well, actually, do you think about it? If you got Daredevil and you got Batman, these are humans that are just very good at gymnastics and punching.
True, though I would argue that Daredevil does have a power of sorts.
He technically does, yeah.
Technically, even, I guess it's supposed to be heightened senses, but it's still technically a power.
Yes. So the cover of the book, though, is Daredevil in the background, we're facing Daredevil, and he's standing, wounded, holding his billy club, and then in the foreground you see the Hulk's hand.
Yes.
And it says "Beware the Hulk." So, and that's it.
Poor Hulk.
We're ready to go. So we start off though, and I think this proper issue is Blind Alley.
Yes,
that's the name of that's the title of the book. So we start off with Daredevil, and he's at a party.
He's at it looks like some sort of work function because there's like other attorneys and judges there.
It's a fundraiser for the re-election of District Attorney Blake Tower.
Blake Tower.
That's a name.
That is a name.
They're reading a Daily Bugle, and it's reporting that the Hulk is in New York, just like Black Widow was announced to come to New York. So the Hulk was in New York.
Yeah.
And they got this really like fucked up photo of him.
I mean, I can't imagine that the Hulk has a lot of really good pictures. I don't know if he has
publicity shots.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm like, does he really have like a good side? Probably not technically.
Here's me. Here's a bunch of pictures. Here's me wearing an eye patch.
Here's me standing in front of the Hoover Dam.
Here's me holding a golf club.
Yeah, right. Here's me trying to look like I'm actually holding up the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Hulk strong. So
Hulk fix building. Dumb.
That's very stupid. Hulk just goes to the leading. It's like every Bugs Bunny cartoon where something would happen and they would somehow fix the Leaning Tower of Pizza.
Yes.
The Hulk just goes there like Hulk fix. But J. Jonah Jameson is there, and he's talking to some guy who I think was Tony Stark, but it's not. This guy's telling Tony Stark because, J. Jonah Jameson is like, yeah, well, I'm progressive because I was the first one to tell people that Spider-Man's an asshole. This guy's like, that's kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? And then also that Judge Coffin from a couple issues back.
Yes.
Is here, and he's talking to somebody about the Hulk, and this guy's like, yeah, man, maybe we, the Hulk's a unique case. Maybe we need to figure something out other than just trying to shoot him with fucking tanks.
Right, because obviously it's not working, and Judge Coffin's like, it's the only answer.
Force is the only solution. But yeah. And this guy was like, yeah, well, the Hulk, Matt Murdock defended the Hulk once, and of course we know from the previous issues that Judge Coffin has it out for Matt Murdock. Yeah,
he says something like, I don't think highly of any attorney that would do that or something.
Yeah, he's basically like, he sucks ass, and like Matt's walking by, and
yeah, he's like, any attorney that would do that is trash.
Well, it's funny because he's walking by, and because whoever Matt's this judge is talking to, he's like, oh, sorry, Matt, and the judge is like, I said what I said.
Yeah, because he's like, he didn't mean it. Judge is like, yeah, I did.
Yeah, I did. And also, I like in the same panel, you get Foggy Nelson telling a dirty joke to a priest.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on back there.
Because he's like, and then the priest says to the rabbi, and you got like, it's clearly a priest, and the priest is just like, oh, look, he's about to fucking croak.
Yeah.
And then we also run into Heather, the girl from the previous issue, who I always forget it was Heather.
The one he was dating who was in the cemetery.
I wanted to call her Heather Grant, but it's not her name.
But she was in the cemetery.
Yeah, she was the one in the cemetery, but now she's, she met some guy named Rico, and she brought him to this function, and he's like Disco Stew.
He taught her all the disco moves.
Oh, look, this is Rico. He's into disco. He knows all the moves. He's like, hell, I invented them all, baby.
Yeah, he calls her Angel Face at one point.
Yeah,
which is just something I would call the cat.
Yeah, that's the thing you call animals. You don't call.
It's always weird. I'm like, this is not an animal nickname, but okay, whatever.
But he goes to shake Matt Murdock's hand, and Matt Murdock hears a very hardcore heartbeat. Yeah,
and since there's so much noise and stuff going on at the party, he can't really be sure because it's kind of overwhelming his senses.
Yeah.
But he's like, think I hear something.
Yeah.
So he goes like there's a balcony, because I don't know what building they're in, but there's a balcony. And he goes out there, and of course, Foggy's like, it's okay, Matt.
Well, first of all, he puts a shine on this guy.
Oh, yeah.
This guy's like trying to shake his hand, and he just blows him off.
Yeah, right.
And then, but also you see this thing too in that same panel where Foggy sees Matt walking out, and he's like, oh, excuse me, Father. And like, the priest is like, Mr. Nelson, it'll be my pleasure. You tell me about, you could stop showing me these deviant art far side drawings of religious jokes.
Right.
I don't want to see them.
I know. I understand Rule 34 exists, but I don't need to see examples.
So Matt goes to the balcony, and he's like, wow, the Hulk he must be in New York because he has the heartbeat of a jackhammer.
Yeah.
He has a very distinct heartbeat. It's like, I don't know, man. That could be anybody. That could be like any fat dude.
Well,
maybe it's a kingpin.
The Hulk, being as large as he is, probably would have a distinctive.
That's crazy, though, that he can hear that
well,
that high up, and that well. It's not like Superman. If Superman can hear it, Superman could probably hear it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, but I feel like it's when you have to focus on it, because there's so much else going on. There's the noise of the city, and there's people talking, and even when he's out on the trellis thing, you can still hear traffic.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can hear a lot of stuff. You can hear traffic. You can hear the wind. And, you can hear planes.
Sirens.
Yeah, sirens.
Yeah, whatever.
So anyway, Matt is out on the balcony.
Foggy's like, oh, let me go get you a drink. I think you'll feel better after this, whatever. And as soon as Foggy goes back inside, Daredevil's like, haha. And he jumps down a cable or whatever.
Yeah, he jumps off the roof into an alley where he thinks he finds the Hulk. He finds the Hulk. And the Hulk's just sitting there, just hanging out in an alley. His heart is thumping away. And
but we do have to mention that Daredevil is not in his costume. He is in a tuxedo.
Yes.
Which is very important. He also, and I don't know if I necessarily agree with this. I don't think he says it. I think it's just like a bit of narration that the Hulk is the most tragic character ever.
I mean, they love to really push that narrative with him.
Would you agree with that, though? Because to me...
I mean, ever? Like in the history of Marvel comics?
I'm just saying, not even in the history, but just like in general in Marvel comics, if I was going to pick somebody who I felt was way more tragic, I would pick Ben Grimm.
Yes.
To me, I feel that's a much more tragic situation than the one the Hulk's in. But maybe not.
If we're talking, I mean, well, shit. I mean, the Punisher.
Well, I mean, obviously, yes, when we're talking about that. But I'm just saying, like, if radioactive shit happens to you.
Right. He's actually, Ben Grimm's much.
I feel like Ben.
Well, here's the thing. So
Ben Grimm's not nearly as, well, I don't know.
Here's the difference between the two. So the Hulk, Bruce Banner.
Yes.
Scientist working on gamma bombs and gamma radiation. So he kind of was already like in the danger zone.
Yes.
He got blown up by the bomb or whatever.
Right. And it turned him into the Hulk. And now he's afflicted with being the Hulk. But he could turn it on and off, and like he kind of knows what the trigger is and everything. Well, he's has an anger problem.
He has an anger problem.
Which is what causes the Hulk, and he doesn't seem to do anything about it. But anyway, whatever. But at least at this stage we're talking about now.
But the thing, Ben Grimm was a pilot and was helping his friend out to fly a test shuttle.
Yeah.
And that they weren't supposed to fly, but they went up there anyways. And cosmic rays, which is something that I don't know if they really... I can't remember exactly if there was something where they're like, we might encounter this but we don't really know what, if we're going to or not.
Right.
But, he did it anyways for his, for his friend. But the thing about Ben, is that, he became just a random ass rock dude.
Yes.
And he can't do anything about that.
Exactly. Because at least, as we see here, Bruce Banner's having a hell of a time, and being the Hulk has kind of ruined his life, but he can still turn back into a human and walk amongst people and not, you know what I mean?
Well, for as much as he can.
As much as he can until he loses his shit. The dude needs to like do some exercises, like breathe and like count to 10 or whatever.
Yeah, he needs some sort of escape plan.
Yeah. He needs some sort of coping mechanism.
Yes. Yes,
I
needs
feel
better
like
help.
He does need better help. Oh, not sponsored, by the way.
No, we don't sponsor. We don't have a code. Sorry, Bruce.
But yeah, but the thing is, he's a rock man.
Ben Grimm.
Yeah,
that's just how the cosmic rays affected him.
That fucking sucks.
It sucks, but yeah, because your brother-in-law,
the other guy got stretchy.
One guy got stretchy. The girl can become invisible.
That guy lights himself on fire.
And you're just rock guy. Like, you can't just turn in and out of being a rock guy. You're just rock guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does that affect your organs? How do you shit?
It's not. These are questions. I don't know if there's ever been a definitive explanation about how he does these things.
Because it's best not to ask.
I agree. I don't want to know how his gastrointestinal tract looks. Is that also made of rock? Is he like the rock eater from the Never Ending Story? But obviously he's not, because we've seen him eat whole sandwiches.
That's right. He eats regular food.
He's people.
That would be weird, because if he's eating rock, isn't that cannibalism?
He can just eat himself.
Anyway, Daredevil goes to this alley, and the Hulk's all upset because what Hulk wants is he wants to find Bruce Banner, because Bruce Banner is the one who turned him into the Hulk.
I don't know exactly why he's in New York. Because he even later he mentions I have to get out back west, because that's where the Hulk was created, and that's where he should be. But for some reason he's in New York City. He's kind of
doing a hobo drift.
I mean, that's kind of his. That's kind of his.
I feel
thing,
like that's what he's doing, that sad walk down the road.
Well, yeah,
and that's why he ended up here.
Yeah, so I guess, but he's there, and
so Daredevil manages to calm him down.
Well, he's like, I'll help you find Banner. I will help you.
Yeah.
I am a dude who wants to be your friend. And he calms down, and he takes him. Daredevil, puts Bruce up for night.
Yeah, takes him back. And when he wakes up in the morning,
Daredevil walks in. He's like, "Hey, Bruce, hope you're feeling better." He's like, "Matt, what am I doing here?" And he's like, "Don't you remember?" He's like, "Mostly a little. I remember the hate."
Hate.
What do you I know that you can get stressed out, and turn into the Hulk, but if you're Bruce Banner, are you just I think in the movies he's like, I'm always mad.
Well, yeah, that's his secret. He's always angry.
Yeah, I don't.
But that's the thing. Once you can control it, then you can turn in and out of the Hulk by tapping into your burning rage.
Mm.
But this is again, I know this all changes, because I know we're not talking about gray Hulk or smart Hulk. Oh, that's because I realize all this changes throughout the years. And this is 44 years ago. Isn't it, as we move more towards modern times, the Hulk and Bruce Banner are aware of each other, and they can. Well,
they find ways.
They share memories.
There's different ins and outs.
It depends on who's writing it.
It depends on whatever deal they're in, where it's the Hulk, becomes merged with Bruce Banner, and so he's he's a savage, he's a giant, but he's also aware, kind of how it is in the movies now.
He's wearing glasses and having a podcast. Yeah.
Wait, does he have a podcast?
Well, that's the joke, because he's wearing a fucking cardigan with patches on the elbows and those black frame glasses.
Yeah.
And he's it's
This American Hulk.
Exactly. Yeah. Hulk has a fucking podcast on NPR. Banner doesn't remember what the Hulk was doing, and then the Hulk really doesn't remember what Banner is doing. So that, I don't know, because I know that changes.
Well, here's a few things. So Matt is kind of fucking up here.
Oh yeah,
because the Hulk's sitting at his sitting there, and he's like, "Do you want more coffee?" It's like, don't give the Hulk coffee.
I think the Hulk's fine with coffee. I don't.
Yeah, but that's going to increase his heartbeat.
I don't think that's what changes the Hulk. It's not It's not a hard. It's the fact that this man is a rageaholic.
Yes, I understand. Well, he gets full out to hell because Matt is like, hey, maybe you could call the authorities to help with this.
And this dude fucking throws his coffee on the floor. And
he goes.
Because he's like, because he's sitting there being like, well, Matt, it's nice to sit here and enjoy a nice cup of coffee with you. And then they're talking and Matt's just like, well, I don't know. Maybe you could call the authorities. And this dude's just like, no. And he's like throwing a fucking coffee cup.
He wilds out so hard.
That is a ridiculous reaction.
It is.
So that's
Matt Murdock literally pays him to go away.
Yeah, he 100% pays him to go away. He calms him down. He hands him money and he kicks him the fuck out of his apartment.
He's like, you know what? I can't be losing coffee cups like this.
You know what? I don't have that many coffee cups.
I don't even know.
Because I'm a single man. You're lucky I have two.
I'm also blind, so like I have to like constantly, maybe the sonar part helps, but maybe he's also got to kind of be like, okay, I can feel these coffee cups here or whatever. But no, now I got one because Bruce Banner came in and fucking spiked it like a fucking football. So here's the thing, though. So Hulk is like, all right, I need to get to Port Authority. I need to go on a bus west. I need to get out of New York City.
Yep.
The one thing that we all know in New York City that will never stress you out
is the subway.
Is public transportation.
100%.
Especially the iron tube underground that is filled with humanity.
Well, not only that, but this is 1980. There are people smoking on this fucking thing.
Oh, you know it. This is Koch era. Like we ain't cleaning up shit.
Nope.
The fucking Warriors are on this train.
There should be fucking graffiti all over everything.
It's hard because he's on the train. There's a dude like fucking Mean Gene Okerlund is here smoking.
Yeah, my favorite though is like they draw this woman, or I think it's a woman.
Yeah. Wait, is it this or up here? This lady body checking it?
No, the person holding is that a guy holding?
Oh, the guy holding the cigar?
No, holding the boombox.
Oh yeah.
There's
a dude.
Okay, it's a guy. There's a guy holding a boombox, and of course it's on, which is just basically the old version of some kid on the fucking train with his goddamn cell phone cranked all the way up.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Back in the day, man, that's how people did
back
it.
In the day, you
had a boombox that took 15D batteries, and you put it on your fucking shoulder, and you brought it everywhere, and you didn't give a shit.
Nope. But that's what I mean. The people just blasting random music when they shouldn't is not new.
So and the Hulk's like, excuse me, can you turn that down? He's like, this guy's like, yeah, I do mind because I don't want to listen to assholes like you ask me to turn it down, and he shoves them. And then he bumps into another woman, and he bumps into a woman, and this lady fucking elbow checks him.
Yeah.
And then he jumps into the Mean Gene here, and Mean Gene just puts his cigarette out on his fucking jacket, And then of course he's like, I gotta get out, but he turned into the Hulk. He hulks out, and that gets everybody out of his way. And he jumps out of the entire subway straight up into the air. And Matt's in a car, right? He's in a cabbie or something like that. And he hears people running and stuff like that. And then he's like, okay, I gotta get out. I gotta see what's going on. But you see this driving here, where like he gets out of the cab and you just see an airborne car.
Oh yeah, because Hulk is because he literally jumps through the street.
Yes.
He like springs. I don't really he goes through the top of the car and then through the street.
Oh yeah.
And he continues to get amazing air.
Because he's a Hulk, man. He could go, the Hulk can jump so far.
Mm-hmm.
We don't, a lot of people, they actually really pushed that hard in the 2003 Hulk.
Yeah.
Where he's doing a lot of like mobility and like the desert and stuff like that. And that's basically like it. Like he doesn't need to take a car, or he doesn't need the vehicle, or he doesn't need anything. Like he just literally needs to jump, and he could clear like miles at a time.
Yeah.
Like so much
just
space.
So much space.
So anyway, so Matt turns into gets his Daredevil gear on, and because Hulk's like throwing cars at people. Matt shows up, your Daredevil shows up, and he's like, hey, again, let me help you find Bruce, or let me find Dr. Banner, we'll take care of this. And then a cop, of course, just shoots the Hulk in the back of the head.
It's so funny. I just everybody knows who the Hulk is. And all the police departments are like aware of this, but they
you live in a superhero society.
But they still unload magazines full of bullets at the Hulk and nothing happens. And I'm like, so why are you doing that? You're just wasting ammo.
But, the Hulk beats the shit out of Daredevil, though. Daredevil's trying real hard, though. Like, he's hitting him in the face with the stick, and, he's just chucking Daredevil on the roof. Like, Daredevil, like, spilling blood out of his mouth here.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's a really cool picture. I thought that was a really good drawing, because when he gets up on there, he gets on the roof, and it's just drawn with him kind of like laying there. You see his whole body, and then you can see like the blood, like on the roof coming out of his mouth. And then when he sits up, you get like a close up where it basically looks like he broke his fucking nose.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
He is not doing well, and he's like, he's basically saying to himself, I could stop now, but I'm not gonna stop. Somehow in this interim, while the Hulk is on there screaming about trying to find Bruce Banner, the Hulk. Daredevil commandeers a bus.
Yeah, that's right. He commandeers a bus and he like drives towards the Hulk, but the Hulk's like, Hulk hate machine.
Yeah.
And he starts like, he literally just rips it to pieces.
Yeah, the Hulk, it just explodes this bus. And then people are watching him do the, Daredevil fight the Hulk, and they're just like, what are you doing, man? Like, get out of there. Like, you're not supposed, he's the Hulk. He's going to kill you. Like he could do that. And while this is happening, Heather Glenn, I forget her last name, Glenn.
Oh, that's right. She like comes to watch, I guess.
Well, she sees him because maybe she saw it somewhere or whatever, but she's there and she's trying to get through the barrier and she's like, stop, Matt, and it just happens. Of course,
our friend here.
Yeah, it just happens to be right next to Ben Urich.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, that's Matt Murdock's girl. Why did she say Matt? And it's like
Matt Murdock?
I don't actually believe what they put here in the narration, because it's like, finally, the last piece of the puzzle clicks into place. And I'm like, he already knew. He just needed more proof. Like, this is not a shock to him. He's been waiting for this. I guess
that's his smoking gun, is that a random woman called the Daredevil Matt. But he's going to put that in the news. So here we go.
Mm-hmm.
But also, we get your favorite thing from last week, the shadows.
Yeah, the shadow Daredevil as he fights the Hulk.
Yeah, he's fighting the Hulk, and he's got all sorts of moves. Like, he's karate kicking, and I just like him just kicking the Hulk in the head right here.
Yeah, that's nice.
And just kind of giving him like weird emo hair.
He did give him weird emo hair. I do love so eventually they're in the alley, like, because as they fight here, they end up in this alley.
Yeah.
And the Hulk throws a dumpster on Daredevil. Is that what he has in his hands?
I don't know. He throws him into an alley. There's a bunch of trash.
He's holding something. I'm assuming it's a dumpster.
Yeah, it might be. It's like a big rock, actually.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's an alleyway, so
he doesn't throw this on him.
See, this is where I got confused, because I thought he did.
Well,
or does he put it down? Because
he puts it down because
all of a sudden, like, Daredevil starts getting this like weird stuff, and he can't breathe. And I'm like, so is that because of the fight, or did Hulk drop?
It's because of the
on
fight.
him?
So what happens is, like, the Hulk, he's been, Daredevil's been like busted his ass trying to like stop the Hulk from like destroying the city, looking for himself, the man inside the Hulk.
Yeah, because he's like, you are Bruce Banner.
Yeah, you are Bruce Banner, and and obviously the Hulk's always like, Hulk, puny human, but Daredevil gets so exhausted, he just passes out, and just he's like, they're like, oh my God, he's got broken ribs or whatever, and then they're kind of they're putting Daredevil over because they're like, man, he didn't back down from the Hulk or whatever.
Yes,
no wonder he's called the Man Without Fear.
Right. So they take him to the hospital.
Eventually, yes. Yeah.
But did they just leave his mask?
Maybe. I don't know. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what the protocol is. I don't know if they're like, hey, he's New York superhero and he's not, he's not Spider-Man. But then again, like, I don't know. Like, if you don't know who this person is, you just like start doing all sorts of stuff. Like, what if he's allergic to penicillin?
Well, yeah. I mean, that could happen to anybody in like a car accident or whatever.
That's
but
true,
like,
obviously.
If his nose really is broken, wouldn't you have to take that off? You want to make sure
you'd have to do a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, you want to make sure there's not any sort of weird trauma or his, God only knows.
But he's in the because he's like in the the intensive care, ICU. Yeah. So, but while that's happening, the Hulk runs off in a very dramatic way.
Which is hilarious. This is my favorite drawing in this entire book.
Because he's like...
Entire trade. This is my favorite drawing.
Oh, yeah?
Because it literally looks like the Hulk is screaming and doing a cannonball. But what he's actually doing is like doing his little bouncy jump and crying.
Yeah.
It is very funny.
He's having a crying jump. So, yeah, that's... Oh, yeah, and then the very last part is Ben Urich writing his story.
Yes. I like how he starts out talking about Daredevil's dad. He's like, oh, he was a shitty boxer, and then he died, but not before inspiring his son.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing. It's kind of like, I'd be like, what the fuck is this? Because he's like, Matt Murdock's father was a second-rate boxer, and he sucked ass, but then he got shot in the back, and now his son is like, well, wait, what's the title, though?
I think it's just like Daredevil expose.
Okay.
So I don't know if I'm assuming that's not the actual title of the issue.
Yeah. Well, we're going to find out what happens next issue, because now, actually here, because we could see here, he's in his hospital bed. He's wearing his mask. And they put a bandage on his head over his mask. Yes.
Come on.
So anyways, that's how this ends. Daredevil number 163, I believe. Again, I always keep forgetting the number.
Yeah, because you said 162 was like a one-off.
Okay, yeah. So
this is 163.
Yeah, number 163 from March 1980. We're going to finally wrap this up next week.
Yep.
With Daredevil in a hospital bed wearing his mask for some reason. We're going to see how this all wraps up. We got Ben Urich about to put the word out about Daredevil being Matt Murdock. Whether or not we're going to get some more action with Bullseye, if he's still marked for death, I don't know. We don't know.
My guess is Bullseye's not going to show back up.
No, I think
I'm assuming that we're just going to deal with the journalist here.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very boring.
Yeah, man, that's going to be 2 in a row that like the ending kind of sucked. Well, so let's hope that doesn't happen here.
The problem, though, is that this isn't really like a storyline per se. Like the Venom storyline was like, okay, this is like
all connect. I mean,
because that's how Legends of the Dark Knight operated.
Right.
So you would just kind of work with that and be like, okay, well, this is the arc per se, but this is just a bunch of issues collected and they're related in some way. Mm-hmm. Which is why to the point where they even cut out one of the issues that wasn't related. They could have just put that issue in here, but they didn't.
Right.
So I don't know. We'll see how it ends up. I look forward to it. Looks like that's again, Daredevil in the 80s with Frank Miller and all that stuff. Like that's pretty big blind spot for me.
Yeah.
So I've never really read any of that stuff. And so getting acquainted with some of this has actually been really cool.
Yeah.
I forgot to give it out at the beginning of the show, but of course, our worst collection ever. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram. I'm at Angry Hero Sean.
And I'm at Jen Stansfield on whatever.
Yeah. Blue Sky, Threads.
The Threads.
You can worst collection ever at gmail.com. I think I said that right. Did I? No, I did not.
Oh, you didn't?
It's our email.
Oh, yeah.
You can email us. Please send us emails about the Hulk. I don't know if you have any stories that you want to share about the Hulk. We're open to talk about it on the air. And of course, YouTube, you can find Worst Collection Ever on YouTube and go to Angry Hero 79. That's my YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. And you could just probably subscribe to the playlist right there and get those new episodes, because every new episode we do is uploaded automatically to the feed. And now that I've actually found a way to like add pictures and stuff, it's not just our image of our podcast.
Yeah.
The art, it's like the actual image of whatever I use. So whatever picture I take from this cover, the cover of the book or whatever. So yeah, you could do that and check out the episodes that way. And also, of course, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, please rate and review and do all that fun stuff. So that's going to be it for us this week. Thanks again for listening, and we'll talk again next time.
Bye.